I'm Martin Griffiths. I'm a trauma surgeon in the trauma centre in Whitechapel. I'm also a advanced reduction lead. And I suppose I want to relate a sort of train about transition, about using trauma-informed care and practicing trauma. So I look after young boys and girls who've been stabbed and shot, and the lessons from supporting that community and the community of staff who work in that space has been really enlightening. So we're a really well-versed expert practice. We're very, very good at preaching and teaching and offering great metrics around care, great at managing patients' injuries, but terrible at managing injured patients. And we never thought to think about how we as a service were impacting and traumatizing our clients, our patients, by our practice. We're very good at fixing holes, very good at telling people what to do, never very good about listening, never good about asking why anything, why we did what we did, why we were there, why our work didn't work, and why these people came back to us. And we had to fundamentally reevaluate what our interaction looked like. Now, we started asking questions like, who are you and why did you come to us? What is your journey from your home to our hospital? What is your journey from hospital to home? And what is your journey going to be like beyond that practice? And how is that affecting us as clinicians and us as people? And those are very simple, very difficult questions to answer. And it forced us to reevaluate what practice, interaction, and our drivers were. So we started again to ask ourselves, why are we here? What are we doing? What are the journeys like? What are the people we're interacting like? What is our society like? And how are we providing support to that society? And how is that changing our culture and our delivery of care? And by asking simple questions and asking ourselves simple questions and removing the hierarchy, removing the role responsibility, removing the traditional barriers around what we're talking about, we will be able to answer questions differently. And I think that what we started to move into is a system of equity, not just of age and gender and sex and roles, but of skills. And by recognizing that everybody could bring a skill to that piece, we became more effective as a group of clinicians providing care. The HCA and the porter could have ideas about how to support somebody better and have a better idea of how to interact with an individual and their family to provide better support. And more importantly, we felt bolder about talking with and speaking to our community, in our community, about why violence was affecting our community, because it was our community as well. And that allowed us to speak much more coherently and be much more effective about what we're trying to support. I spend my life doing pointless operations that don't need to happen, the injuries don't need to occur. And I want that to stop happening. It became made redundant by a curious and knowledgeable community that understand the drivers of what's happening in their lives and understand that the violence that affects them is a product of a failing society. And we can all work to perfect that. And our practice and our principles are based around trying to understand very clearly that we all have a journey to take and a journey to share. And that professional intimacy, that professional understanding, and that rejection of the hierarchical standards of what we've been taught to believe in our society is the key to us being better at what we do. I think I'll stop there.